Right, I don't know what the hell happened there. My XSplit's playing up again. I'm sure I didn't touch any of the buttons. Next thing I know, the bloody thing had just died. And my XSplit's been working fine. Maybe it's this presentation that's bugged. But apologies for that. We are back. Meanwhile, Larry's just missed a combo. I think it was Larry that missed a combo. Yeah, we had a technical issue there. I don't know what the hell went up there. Something went pear-shaped. And I've been fine I've been streaming the 8-ball tournament. There's not been a problem. It might be that this presentation, this setup that I've got for Friday night 9-ball is maybe it's bugged. Anyway, we've got a result here. We've got Stefan with a 9-7 win against Miskin. Yeah, maybe you're a jinx, Matt. Meanwhile, Larry has got a billiard shot on here. Now, has he got enough room? I think he has. I think he has for the billiard on the 9. He's got to maybe just draw off this to catch the 9, possibly, like that. Or maybe it was a stun, but anyway, it worked. Now, we'll see this break, and I'm just going to tab out and have a quick look at something. Three ball on the side. Hang on a sec. Right, well, first of all, the weird thing is that my PC hasn't switched off or anything like that, because prior to doing the live stream, I always switch off my antivirus. I don't like it running in the background. And I know distinctly that I switched off my antivirus prior to this stream, but when I tabbed out there and double checked, my antivirus was back on. So I don't know whether it's done something and done an update that's caused some sort of interference. I have no clue why that happened, but the antivirus has been switched back off again. That was weird. Meanwhile, this match may or may not be going all the way, but only Spectre Dawn's really going to have a say in that. He's on the 1 ball. Is he going to try and bump it in off the edge of the 8? It's a bit tight. Now he's got to watch his extension running out here. Oh, he's played the combo instead. The 1 ball running loose. Now he needs to get a roll of the ball. And he has done. But this is a little fiddly stun at a short distance here. Into the corner. Cue ball should be going to cross for some sort of shot in the 2. These are the ones that Steve said is easy. And he's nailed it. But he's got no joy with the 2. He's hit it full in the face. Now he could try banking this onto the 5, but the 4 ball might get in the way. Or is he trying to cut this? No, he's just trying to play safe. Well, you know what Larry's going to do, don't you? There's no way Larry's going to do anything other than go for the bank. He's going to go all out for it, I think. I'd be very surprised if he tries to be playing and messing about here. He'll probably go all out for it. The thing is he going to have a shot in the 4? That's the question I'd be asking. Because this cue ball's going to run loose. And that's the problem. He's got the bank. But what's he got with the 4 ball? That 4 ball is dodgy enough where it is. He could try and billiard the 5 in. He's got to watch the double kiss, though. Oh, he tried to squeeze it in. Now this cue ball needs to run. He needs to get cover. I don't think he's getting it. Or is he? Nope. There's just an edge of the 4. And that may well be Larry's last shot. Well, this match, remember what I said earlier about a couple of numpties together? It might take an hour. Well, these two guys aren't numpties, but it's been... we've played a big chunk of all the racks that you could play in this match. And we are 55 minutes into it. So welcome back, folks. Don't ask me because I don't know what happened. The PC's fine. The PC didn't restart or anything like that again. It was just XSplit that died. But I think this presentation might be a bit bugged. Or it could have been the antivirus interfering. I don't know, because as I said, I normally switch it all off, so I don't have... I've got minimum stuff running. So Larry is going home early. Spectre Dawn goes through by 9 racks to 7, so we need a bit of a catch-up here. Just a refresher. And a check on the bracket. We've got Spectre Dawn now through to play Liquid. We've got Bankster and Romario. Bankster with a 4-1 lead against Romario. Stubb is 2-1 down against Demon. And Stubbs getting the 8 ball. And Stefan is 2-1 in front against MC Clarkey. Where the hell's this Demon guy from? Don't tell me this is somebody that's in disguise again, is it? Where's he from? Sweden. I think I've seen the name before. Surely it's not Albinario in another profile. Albinario doesn't do stuff like that. Right, anyway, we need to get into a match. So in fact, it's not 4-1, it's now 4-3 to Bankster. Liquid's getting 6 and out against Spectre Dawn. Let's go into this match with Bankster and Romario. And as soon as I do that, Bankster's missed the cut in the 7. Romario doesn't have a bank. He does have a very thin cut, which he could blast. Or he could try and bank it the other way into the top right. I don't think it's who you think it is. Or do you think it might be? Good shot from Romario. And we're back all square. Good evening to Tam. And I think the cue ball's gone south. So Romario's handed it back to Bankster. See, if you were here earlier, Tam, you could have got yourself in this. You'd have good a chance as anybody of winning it. Back to the good old days of VP3, where I think the only folk here that can remember that are Romario, myself, and Larry. Nobody else was around then. Well, Romario going all out for the combo. And Romario's never changed from the way he played in VP3. Never changed. He always goes for his shots. He blows hot and cold all the time. Your rating is ahead of your competition ability. Basically what you're saying is you'd be giving too much away in handicap. I've read between the lines. Well, I got called in during the week there. It isn't the manager that I get called in to see. It's the other one of the, I can't remember, her name's Sarah Louise. I get called in. She said, I need to see you to do your Christmas hours. I said, aye, fine. I said, it's going to be easy this year. She said, why? And the manager was sitting down at the next table at the time, and we were sitting at another table. The manager was doing pen pushing. And I said, aye, it's going to be easy this year. Christmas hours. She said, how's that? I said, for the first time in 11 and a half years, I ain't doing the 4 o'clock starts. I said, I'm starting at 6 o'clock and just doing my normal shifts. And the manager looks up and says, well, you're no wanted. I said, no. I said, you've got enough gullible young members of staff that have just started recently. You can bully into starting at bloody 4 o'clock because I ain't doing it anymore. I said, I'm having to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to get my 4 o'clock start. So I said, no, sod that. I said, I'm 61. I'll be 62 in August. And that's it for me. I'm done. That was same to get told. Of course you got a bloody chance to win it. All you have to do is pot everything in sight and don't do stupid stuff. If you start doing stupid stuff and missing balls when you get down to the money balls, then yes, you're going to lose. Of course you're going to lose. But a quality player like you, Matt, you shouldn't be doing daft stuff like that. You know that. Well, it's a race to 9, so there's a long way to go. Talking about a long way to go, Romario's left himself dodgy in the 7th. Baxter back in the lead, 5 racks to 4. Big cut in the 7th. This is Romario all over. Now, this maybe look straightforward enough to cut the 8 ball. Dead weight. Watch the scratch. He's okay. So again, back all square. This is going all the way, written all over it, this. I'm going to do a quick tab to have a look at this antivirus again. Hang on. You know something? I think it's the antivirus that might be bugged. That sounds stupid. I just use the free version of Avast, but I've got the premium security, which fell off the back of a lorry, if you know what I mean. And I'm trying to. I've got a drop down where I can disable it for an hour, or I can disable it permanently, and it's not doing either. I've just realised. It's not switching off. So there's something bugged about it. What's the cue ball? I think I'll be getting rid of it. What else did I use prior to that? I can't remember what the other antivirus is I used to use. But I think I'll be getting rid of it and going back to, if I can remember the name of what it was. Was it AVG or something? I've used 2 or 3 of them over the years, all free, I hasten to add. But this one, for some reason, isn't switching off. There's a result through. And Matt, you were right. You get a proper gubbin, 9 racks to 1. Well, you see, Stefan's another one that blows hot and cold. Now, he would have been getting the decent handicap there. Let me have a look. Well, he was only getting, what was he getting? Oh, he was getting a 5 ball. Yeah. So, Stefan, you get him on his good night, he can blow you away like that. But if you get him most other times, he does stupid stuff. Well, certainly he's good enough to get to the 5 ball. I've no doubt about that. What is your handicap? You must have been. You must be like 2,500 odd if you're giving that away. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Don't be discouraged, Matt. Don't get yourself discouraged. Get yourself in the bank tournament, the Bank World Championship. See you in a couple of months. Right. Meanwhile, we've got Romario trying to take control of this match. He's now got a 2-rack lead. And we'll see this break, and then we'll have a look. Well, the 8 ball's going in, another ball's going in, the 4 ball's going in. 1 ball's a thin cut up the rail, 2 balls available. 3 ball down the rail. Well, he should be out if he can get this 1 ball. Let's have a quick tab just to catch up. Spectre Dawn is 2-0 down against Liquid, who's getting 6 and out. We'll get this match that we're watching. Stub is 3-2 behind against Demon. And we've got Stefan already through to round 3. And meanwhile, Romario has had a blast, but he's got nowhere. Oh, he's played the 2-way shot. He did the 2-way shot. He played the crossbank and the 3, and the cue ball has billiarded the 9 in. What a jammy bugger he is. What a jammy bugger. Baxter says nice shot. I know I wouldn't be typing nice shot. And Stubbs certainly wouldn't be typing nice shot. I think he got lucky there because he was definitely playing the bank. And he came out smelling the roses to the extent that he's actually on the hill. And he's missed the 1. And Baxter has them all there for him. And of course, Baxter being the most dangerous VP player with a handicap isn't getting that tonight. Vertical Liquid's in the stream to see whether I'm going to do any of his match. and rip him to shreds in the commentary. And where the hell was Coldest Pillow? He should have been in it. Oh, Bankster, dodgy 6-ball. This cue ball is going to be nowhere. He's going to have to live up to his name either. Well, I don't know whether the bank on it. It doesn't look right, but certainly the cut down the rail is on. But the other problem is look where the 8-ball is. So that's why he's tried to play a sort of safety. Now, the bank's definitely on this time, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 railer to get to the 8-ball if you want to go all out for it. Where's the cue gone? I thought he'd... I've got the hiccups now. I thought he disconnected there, but he's not taking it on. So he could be here for 20 minutes. I'll have a quick drink. If I can find my bottle, that is. Big 5-litre bottle, and I can't find it. My hand's swinging about in thin air behind my back trying to find my bottle. Well, Romario, I hasten to add, doesn't have very much in the way of patience. So if there's ever anybody going to make the first move, it's Romario. And this is it, because the mistake's been made. That 8-ball looks fairly tight, though. Let's have a quick shifty. Well, it's off the rail. He's got to get it flush, though. Cue ball needs to miss the 89, and he has done. And so Romario is going to go through by 9 racks to 5. Right, we're getting there, folks. The tournament's been on for 1 hour and 10 minutes. How many did we say was in? Was it 12 was in or 11 was in? I've totally forgotten. Somebody will count them. And meanwhile, we still have Liquid and Spectre Dawn. Let me just do this refresh thing, because this refresh thing's a load of crap. Steve knows that because I've told him 100 times. What was we saying? Liquid's still 2-1 up according to that, so something's dragging on in that next rack. This is going to update in a second, and we'll see Romario through. And Stubb is 4-3 in front, so we're going to have to go into that match. And well, we've got Demon, who is, according to that, he's a 2,377 rated player at 9-ball. And Stubb is actually getting the 8-ball. Not that that makes any difference at all. Now, obviously, I'm saying this quietly for the benefit of certain viewers. Christmas Day, is it the Thursday, the Christmas Day? Because I'm actually in on the Christmas Eve this year for the first time. Well, we never work in .com on Christmas Eve until this year. But I'll be working till 12:30 on Christmas Eve. Aye, it's Thursday, isn't it? And I've still... See, the thing is, I'm busy that week, and I've still got to get my steak pie and everything in for Christmas Day. Wednesday and Thursday's my days off, normally, yeah. I've got 1 day left, which is our personal day. I've got 1 day left to take. Hugh, tell those bastards to... What? I don't know what the hell Stubbs ranting about. Anyway, Stubb has the 5-3 lead at the moment, which is going to be cut to 1. Now, did we decide where this demon guy was from? Where the hell is he? Is it the United States? Oh, no, I did. I said earlier, according to that, he's got a Swedish flag. No, I won't be 62 till August. Yeah, is he from the UK with a Swedish flag? So, Damon's break was dry. Stubb plays a push out, which is a pile of crap. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do there, because he would have been better off having a bang to try and nudge that one in, because all he's done is he's left the rail and the one ball to get knocked in, and the cue ball running up table to come down into the long grass here for the two. Well, he's played it and controlled it pretty well. I thought he'd have let that run and took a risk, but he's actually tried to hold it, got a shot in the two. And if he controls this good enough, he's either got into the gap in the middle there between the 7 and 5 or really tight into the rail, one of the two. But you've got to commit to it, whatever you're going to do. He's trying to get inside. He's going to be hooked. He's going to be hooked. But enough room to get the jump stick working. What, did he give you a warning earlier today because this is who it is? No, that's from previous. That's previous you're talking about, Cobra, surely. Oh dear, what time is it? It's 20 past 8 and the yawning started. It started to kick in. Aye, months ago before he emigrated to that other place. Well, it's looking very likely that we are going to be all square. Now, this is just a bit straight, this 6 ball, so you've either got to give it a good bang to stun it out or start tweaking the cue ball a wee bit. Yeah, got a wee bit of running on it. That's good enough. I would have liked it a wee bit shallower than this, but it just means that the judgment of the pace has to be good, because you could finish inside this 8 ball and have a dodgy cut here. Got to judge the pace right. Yeah, he's got the cue ball right out into the table. That's pretty well played. So from here on in, for the foreseeable future, Friday night 9 ball is going to be this: races to 9, all rounds, money ball handicapping, and single elimination. So get yourself signed up for next week. No excuses. 5 apiece. Right, who's using a free antivirus, and what version, and what one are you using? Because I'm going to get rid of this one because it's not switching off. You must all be using free antiviruses. Or are you just using Windows Defender? Tell me what one to get. Well, there's a shot. Jump shot. Clean. Yeah, that's the one I had in the past, I think. AVG free. I think I had that in the past. You're joking, Tam. You've got Norton's. No. Norton's, I've always steered well clear of that. What the hell, Safeguard? Is that a free one? Never heard of it. But I'm definitely going to uninstall this one because, like I said, I've right-clicked it. Maybe I don't know how long it's been doing it, but I've right-clicked it and I've switched it off until I restart, and it's not switching off. No, it's not so much that. It's see if you ever try to get rid of Norton's, it's a bugger to get rid of. I think you've got to go to Norton's website to get an uninstaller for the damn thing. I think it sort of knits itself into your bloody system. But I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, I'm not paying any money for bloody antivirus. Sod that. I've never paid money for antivirus. Now Stubb gets the bank. And he should be back into the lead, but again, he's already got himself inside here. So now he's got to avoid traffic to get down to the 7. And he's avoided the 8. But now he's going to be running a bit loose. And again, it looks so obvious and easy to go on the 8 ball, but you'd be amazed at how daft things end up being. He's played that pretty good, just a wee bit short. No, I've got that. I installed that Opera a few months ago, and I only ever use that when I want to use the VPN. I'm based in Norway. Whenever I'm looking for some streams, I'm based in Norway. It's got a default VPN that comes free with the browser. And you've got a basic VPN with that Microsoft Edge, which is a pile of piss. But there's no way I'm paying 20-odd quid for anything a year. Well, we can see where the issue is. He's got to blast this 4 ball and try and get a bump or leave the bank in the 5 as he spun it with English. Got a nudge, and that's perfect. That's worked out very well indeed for Stubb. Got the spin working and a little nudge in the 6 ball. And look where he's tried to get himself in trouble. I think he's going to be okay though. So crucially, Stubb's going to have a 2-rack lead. You're bloody right, I'm tight. I've got deep pockets and short arms when it comes to divvying up for a bloody antivirus. Stuff that. Mind you, if I had more members in my channel paying £1 a month for membership, that would help. And I could do with more subscriptions as well, please. Thank you very much. Hit the like button as well. Only takes a second. Even if you don't have to like the stream just to hit the like button. Just hit the damn like button. Well, Demon has a little tester in the 1 ball to start with. Nudges the jaws. It goes in. Shot in the 2. By the way, how big of a numpty am I? I've had this Logitech G5 mouse for goodness knows how many years. The most expensive mouse I've ever bought. I think I paid about 50 quid for it at the time, and I've had it for about 15 years. And he's rattled the 2. And I've just discovered that when I still had the old I managed to install the old software for it, the Logitech Set Point. So that tells you how old the mouse is, because they don't do such a thing now. And I didn't know it had 5 different settings for the DPI. I've only ever been using 3, but I actually had 5. I actually set them the other day there. So that's what I'm using right now. I don't have the weights in it because this is one of these mice that had the little plastic holder that had all the different milligrams of weights, the little circular weights. They're lying in a drawer. No, tell a lie, they're lying under my monitor. But I don't use it with the weights in it. Yeah, the like button is free of charge. Doesn't cost you a penny, but £1 a month. I'm in £52 at the moment, so I'm actually not far short of my second payment to come out from Google Ads. I'm on £52. Once you get to £60, they put the money into my bank account. Who's at the table? What, are you watching on a phone or something? It's Demon that's at the table at the moment. And he might be a bit straight in this 4-ball, and the 5-ball I think is limited as to where it's going. Yeah, he's going to leave a dodgy cut or a bank, one of the two. And going all out for the bank, the cut, sorry. And that's a gift of an opportunity for Stubb. Now, he's got to watch he doesn't clatter into this 8-ball and something stupid happen here. I think he'll be all right, though. He might be hitting the top side of the 8 if he's going to hit anything. You know, that's why he's playing it ultra cautious. And like a proper numpty, he hasn't got the 5-ball to the hole. What a loon that is. Look at that for a shot. Stubb trying to be cute. Maybe he's got a trackball mouse. And he doesn't get the 5-ball to the hole. What a that's the numpty shot of the night from Stubb. No doubt about that. And he might regret that big time. He could have been on the hill. And as the commentator said, the 8-ball was a bit of an interference. You just don't know where the cue ball's going, and Stubb gets scared of it. And he tried to be really cute and make sure that the cue ball wasn't running into the 8, and he forgot to pot the 5-ball. So, well, there you go. Can see now you've got it back in cinema mode. So you're watching in a big telly and you've got the TV in the wrong resolution. It should be in 16:9. I don't think cinema mode's right either. Depends what telly it is you're watching on, though. Well, if ever you can't see the HUD, then you've got the wrong resolution set, period. That's all we need to say in that. But only a numpty would do that, Tam, is that right? Say no more. Or the PC? You're watching in the computer, and you've got... What kind of bloody monitor have you got when you've got it in cinema mode? I don't know. See these yokels from out of town, I don't know what the hell they're doing. You had it disappeared without me touching it. A bit like my XSplit that just went pear-shaped the night. Right. Well, Stubb making a howler, a mistake in a 5-ball. Damon at the table, with the table at his mercy to square this match up. Stubb might have played his last shot, folks. You never know. Well, this is sort of neither here nor there. This shape in the 7-ball, cue ball's going to be running loose again. Yeah, that was that. I think, first of all, he was a bit. Was it the 6-ball he was potting? I think he was a bit straight in the 6-ball, and he ends up rolling through and leaving himself awkward in the 7, an awkward angle, and Stubbs back in. Stubbs getting let off the hook here. Now, he's going to have to drag into this 8-ball just to drag it and kill the pace, but this should be easy enough. And still have the cut in the 9 to get to the hill. So, in fact, fella, I forgot he's getting the 8-ball, isn't he? Well, he's got a ball, and he's got some sort of shot in the 1. 8-ball's gone in, which was his money ball. It comes back up onto the spot, and a chance to run out. But I think he's going to have a dodgy shot in the 2. Now he's getting crazy. He's taking a big risk, and he's sort of getting away with it. That Stubb back to his stubbishness, doing stupid stuff. Is he going to try and bang this and stun the 5 in? Good evening to Slim. Your chat ain't showing up. Well, I hung off to see whether you were going to arrive, Slim. I'm only doing this tonight by way of maybe letting a few people know and see how it goes like it used to be in the old days, and maybe encourage more folk to get in next week for you if you're around. But I'm certainly not back out from retirement from doing this. But bear in mind, we started at 7 o'clock. We're 90 minutes into it. The Larry Spectre Dawn match lasted 55 minutes, that first round match that we had. And Stubb getting dirty, and may well have the opportunity now to win this match from that safety. Well, I told you there, 10 minutes ago, that I've already hit the sleep wall at 20 past 8. The yawning started. But we'll have a quick update on the brackets in a minute. And I don't know how many was in this. Was it, I forgot. I think it was 11 or 12 that we got in it at the start tonight. Which is still better than 2, isn't it? I mean, anything was a bloody improvement in the way it's been going. And I just think more folk should think they've got a reasonable chance when it's, straightforward races to 9. You're getting a handicap if you need it. And, if you play decent and the other guy's doing daft stuff, you never know. I don't think your odds are that reduced any great deal by not having a second chance. So Stubb, with the handicap, believe it or not, wins 9 racks to 6. Let's have an update, and we can see that Stubb is now going to be playing Stefan, and I think Stefan is going to be getting something there against Stubb. Meanwhile, we've got Spectre Dawn, who is now looks as if he's racing away with that match. For a while there, it was like it seemed to be stuck, but now all of a sudden, Spectre Dawn's got a 7 racks to 2 lead against Liquid, who's getting 6 and out. So that match might not have that long to go. And meanwhile, the Stubb-Stefan match will be getting underway. Romario's waiting on a winner coming out, so we'll nip in and we will see that Spectre Dawn is now in the hill. So Liquid has either not been getting a lot of opportunities, or if it has been, he hasn't been getting to that 6 ball. So simple as that. And of course, when Spectre Dawn's break starts to work, you will not get many opportunities. It doesn't matter what the hell handicap you've got, you've just got to sit there. Well, this cue ball's going to have to run if he's going for the bank around the back of the 9 ball. No, he's going the other way. He's going the other way into the corner. Well, this might be a slim opportunity here for Liquid, but if you're going to survive, you've got to somehow find a way out, and that's a good bank if it holds the line. And now, again, let me have a look at this line. See, this is crying out for just a cut into the side, let the cue ball run, miss the 3 ball. Not too hard. He's overcut that. He's overcut it. Everything else about it, he's left it a bit short as well. So he overcut the 2. But the line was there to get good on that 3 ball. And that could be Liquid's last shot of the match. Spectre Dawn trying to get down the short side. Catches a knuckle. Was it 12 in? That's not bad. Twelve is not bad at all. If you build it, they will come. That's not going to get there. That's not getting there. Well, here's your lifeline, Liquid. You've got a 3 ball and a 5 ball to roll in and a 6 ball to roll in to get your 3rd rack on the board. All you need to make sure you do is you don't do something stupid like follow the 6 ball in. So the mistake made by Spectre Dawn. Liquid lives to fight another rack at least, but needs a ball. And he ain't getting it. It's going to have to be a... I don't know whether he can see enough of that to pot the one. Yes, well, he can, I think. But he's gone too far, has he? Because it was going to be the 2-4 combo next. You're going to have to jump that. Oh, no, it needs to keep coming out of that cue ball. This is tight. Well, you've got Matt, who was in tonight, getting blasted away by Stefan. 9 racks to 1. Stefan, I never even checked to see what the handicap was there, but Stefan was getting... No, tell a lie, I did. He was getting a 5 ball. What I haven't checked is what the ratings were of both players, because there must have been a vast difference in the ratings for Stefan to be getting the 5 ball. But clearly he took advantage of it this week. And meanwhile, Spectre Dawn lining up the jump shot, which, provided he gets it, he's not necessarily going to have that good a shot in the 5. Well, we know what Stubb would do in this situation. He would be blasting this to thin it in. Spectre Dawn's got a bit more common sense than that. Well, the ball's in your court, Liquid. This will go flush down the rail. And if you get it, you know you're going to be pinching another rack because the 6 ball's hanging over the pocket. But this is tough. It's all or nothing. Could be your last shot. And, well, where's the cue ball going? Oh, he's okay. For any latecomers who've joined us, there's been 2 results in the 8-Ball World Championships. The one we had yesterday afternoon at some time, I think I was asleep in my chair. There was nothing in the schedule other than the Cobra match, and yet Bankster was playing Viking. Bankster won that match on the 1-loss side. And then there was a match today at some point. I don't know when. That room is possibly still up because Redback was in the room, and he's obviously gone to bed and left VP4 running. That's why that tournament room was still up between Acero against Mr. Fox, and Acero won that match. The score, I think, was 9-6. So that's the latest on what's happened in the 8-Ball World Championship. There's only one more match on the schedule, and that's Cobra and Balls, which I think is Sunday at 4 o'clock, or it might be Saturday, but I can't remember at this time of night. I think it might be Sunday. Well, that needs to get to rail, but it hasn't. He hasn't hit it hard enough. And this time, there's two problems. First one, that 4 ball's reasonably tight to the rail, so it's in a dodgy position. In fact, it's not that reasonably tight. It's frozen to the cushion. So that's dodgy enough as it is. The 3 ball is going to be slightly dodgy to get a cut on it. You've got to get down here somewhere, and I think you can get enough of it to cut the 3, but, you know, even if you do that, what kind of shot are you going to have in the 4? So this rack isn't over. It's far from it. He's gone too far, but we know what's going to happen next up. Vertigo Liquid, as he used to be called, is going to be nailed behind that 8 ball, or at least he should be, absolutely stone cold. Now, you see, even that, he should have been stuck on that 8 ball, and if he was stuck in the 8 ball, that reduces the angle that you have. You can actually go to that rail and come in and kick the back of that 3. So he's going up and down this way. I don't know why, but to me, you've got a line there to kick that 3. And you might get lucky and come off it and get them at both ends of the table. But he never saw the shot, or at least he didn't fancy it. And in the end, he's not come up with anything better. And what Spectre Don can do is pot this 3 and nudge that 4 off the rail. Just like that. But he hasn't nudged it all that well. But it does cut. Doesn't have to worry about position in the 6 ball because he's going to have a shot on it one way or another. But he's played the combo instead. Very surprised he did that. Now, why didn't he look? I'm sure he must have looked at the cut on the side. I'm very surprised he's done that. Now, see if you start messing about getting out and you're on the hill. Strange things happen in these games if you start pissing about. And he's gifted a rack there to Liquid. Who knows what might happen in the next couple of racks? Spectre Don might live to regret that. I think he should have cut that in the side. He was always going to be in the 6 ball. He went for the combo instead, thinking it must have been a gimme. And he could pay the price. You just never know. But poor Liquid can't get a ball in the break, needs a favour, and not getting much help there. And he's going to be nailed again. Well, you can go direct to the 1 ball. You can go 2 rails to get to the 1 ball. He's given it a blast. He's sort of got away with it, but he should be nailed again here in a minute. Well, I'm surprised he didn't just play the cut. I mean, to me, the cut wasn't difficult for a player of his standard. He knows fine well there's no way he's not going to have a shot in the 6 ball. To me, it was more than obvious that's what you do. I'm assuming he went round and had a look at the 4 into the side. I can't think why he thought it wasn't the simplest option. Anyway, Liquid kicks again. sort of gets away with it. Well, this time, Spectre Dawn heading up into the long grass, but he hasn't got the cover. Well, this might be the last few shots that Spectre Dawn will need to see this match out. 2 ball into the corner, back out into the table for the 3. 4 ball in the middle of the table, 5 ball is handy. Where could this go wrong? I think it's all over. Well, you say that, but that 4 ball was tight to the rail. And I think that was the thing that concerned him, the fact that it was, did I not say it was frozen to the rail, that 4 ball? I think I did. Or was I thinking about something earlier? But anyway, by the by, regardless of the fact that he moved the 4 ball, the fact that he never took on the cut into the side's the one that baffles me. But he's going to redeem himself here, I think. He's just got to make sure he gets sight on this 7 ball, which shouldn't be that difficult. Anywhere down in the bottom rail here, he's going to have the shot. I think, well, I don't see any problem here. If he just runs this forward with a bit of left off he'll miss the 8 ball. Well, he's trying to stun it to make sure he's going to get a sight on it, which he has done. He didn't take the risk of running the cue ball for fear of a scratch, which is the right thing to do. And he should be down in the 8. That's not get the legs to scratch. It's actually perfect. Aye, ball in hand with the 3 ball. You're right enough. I forgot about that. Anyway, Spectre Dawn does go through, and he's through by 9 racks to 5. So we are we're heading in the right direction. We've got Stubb with a close call with Stefan. Stefan, what's he getting? Is that the 8 ball? So Spectre Dawn's just about to start Romario. We're going to head in and catch up in this match with Stubb and Stefan. Stefan getting the 8 ball. We're 3 apiece at the moment. And Stubb's got ball in hand. Well, he's got to be back in front here. Now, he's got to decide where he's going to play this 6 ball, because clearly the cue ball wants to go across right side of the table. Now, does that 6 ball pass the 7 into the side? Yes, it does. So that makes life that bit easier. If we're just going to drop this sort of dead weight and let it come across to the other rail. So we know the 6 ball does go. I mean, it's sort of in between. He could take it into the corner. But it does comfortably cut into the side, but he's then got to run the cue ball a bit, though. He's not going to land on top of it, is he? Well, there's only one place you can put that where you can virtually not have a pot, and I think that's about it. He thinks he's going to come off the point. Commentator's eye. He thought he was going to come off the point. And he went into his own trap. Well, that was the only thing about running the cue ball, is you have to make sure you're running a decent line to have a shot in the 7, and he never did that. So that was a howler by Stubb. And meanwhile, Stefan does the necessary and takes the lead. Well, you know, when you look at that 7 ball, that 7 ball comfortably went into the side as long as you got to the bottom half of the table. So he didn't pick the right path for the cue ball for a start. And Stefan breaks off in rack number 8. And the 3 ball has gone. Got a shot in the 1. 2 ball shouldn't really be an issue. He's checked that up to keep the cue ball away from behind the 6. So we need to look at the 4. Now that 4 ball, that's 50-50 in my book. That he can get that clean, and I think he will. Gets a double kiss, which has ruined that. And now he's going to play a little touchy shot to try and get behind the 9, but that's a big fail. I mean, to be so close and to not get behind the 9, that's pretty poor, because he's brought that 5 off the rail, and we know what Stubbs going to do with that. That was not a good shot, Stefan. This is going to be stuck to the rail, this cue ball, but he's got nothing to do other than roll the 6 ball in. He'll have a nice angle in the 7 to either stun out into the table or run forward and come back down into the table for the 8. Now he's going to stick himself in the bottom rail now. He's either going to have to... Now, he might be scared of jacking up here. He might run forward. Yeah. You don't want to be having to play shots at distance like that, jacking up. It just makes the shot a lot more difficult. So we're going to be back all square. But it all came from a very poor... Excuse me, I've got the hiccups again. Very poor safety from Stefan at close quarters on that 5 ball. He should never have been nudging into the 9. He should have been behind that 9 ball. And that's cost him. And this looks dry unless the 5 ball catches the pocket. And it has done. And an in-between shot in the 1 ball. And Stubb having a blast, running loose. No shot in the 2. He's trying to bank that. Blasted it, and you tried to use the 4 ball as a big pocket, and he's actually speared that 100% and knocked in the 5 ball as well. Right, well, unless he does something completely stupid, he should be back in the lead. Let's have a quick update here. We've got Spectre Dawn with a 1 rack lead against Romario. And Stubb going back into the lead. Didn't hear anything go. Now, Stefan, if you can see this 1 ball and he can't see enough of it. Oh, but he's got a feather edge there. He has got a feather edge on that 1 ball. And if he doesn't scratch, he's gone behind the knuckle as well. How about that for a safety? But there's a good 2-railer, 3-railer into this 1 ball. Stubbs usually pretty good at these. He's got the hit. And, well, he's left it ugly. It's not simple. Now, that was not easy. But he's not getting second prize. So Stubbs got a shot to get started. Right, now you can just play this plain ball and let the cue ball just run forward. You're just hoping you don't hook yourself behind the 5 or the 8. He's caught the 5. That 5-6 combo's obviously stone dead. There's not going to be a problem dealing with that. He just has to get decent on the 4. That ain't decent. In fact, he can consider himself really lucky there he didn't drop into that side pocket. And that's why you end up missing pots. And he should have been out. And Stefan should be all over this like a rash. Remember, he only needs to get to the 8 ball. Oh, what's his name's arrived in the room? What's that? Well, that's one of his profiles, Lumpy. You've just got to be careful you don't scratch off this 7 ball. You've got to get hold of the cue ball. Stay away from that corner pocket. He's okay. Right, that sounded dry as well. So we're 5 apiece. Stubb. Well, he's got the double kiss off the 1. Now, I don't think there's any sort of combo on here with ball in hand. But nevertheless, it's an opportunity for Stefan. I'm surprised he didn't try to get up the table with the cue ball there easily. Yes, he's left himself a shot in the 2. More work to do controlling the cue ball because now he's got a dodgy 3. And the dodgy 3 has been dealt with. And an even more dodgy 4 because it's now blocked into 2 pockets. There's a thin blast into the side pocket. There's a bank, but the 8 ball might interfere with that bank. Yeah, he's missed the 8. He's played that absolutely perfectly. Gone a bit too far in the 5, but the 5 clearly goes into the side. Got to watch the scratch here. Oh, Redback has woken up. And Stefan's chance has gone. Well, he's obviously been kicked for 72 hours from some previous. I'm pretty certain. Right, Stubb back into the lead. We're into rack number 12. We'll have a quick look at the break. And again, the break is dry. Right, let's have a tab out and see how things are doing. Well, Spectre Dawn and Romario Is that 3-1 or is that 1 apiece? It's 3-1 to Spectre Dawn. Romario, I mean, that's a very generous handicap for a Mario. He's getting a 5 ball. And Spectre Dawn's going to have to... He's going to have to be solid to defend that 5 ball money ball. But he has got a 3-1 lead at the moment. But that could change very quickly where Romario's concerned. Oh, Stubbs overcut the 3. And he's got jammy again. I think he's putting a bit of left on this. I'd be putting a bit of right on it and trying to squeeze the rail. Now, the thing is, that was very tight, but I would have been putting a bit of, not right, a bit of left English on it to try and squeeze through there, catch the rail and try and check the cue ball a wee bit to catch an edge. I think it's probably easier to kick rather than do what I was saying, but he went with right English, but that was only going to help the cue ball around the corner. I think that was touch and go, whether my idea would have worked at all or whether it had been just simpler to try and kick across the table. But either way, Stubbs now been offered the opportunity to get some daylight here. And Stubb hanging up the 3 ball, but getting lucky and getting covered. But then he's had a bang at the 6 ball to try and get the cue ball up for the 7. And again, he's handed it on a plate to Stefan to stay in this match. And you're going to run out of luck at some point, Stubb. You just keep banging there. You're going to run out of luck soon enough. Good evening to Slugs. I hope you're not that numpty lumpy that's been kicked out for 72 hours. What time is it now? So we've been 2 hours at it. 7 p.m. start. Oh, that's him there. That's him there, Frank Franker. What the hell's Stubb doing here? What happened there? I missed that. I was too busy looking at the chat. He's had a bang at the 1 ball. That's what he's had. Yeah. And again, you look at where the 1 ball's ended up. He's got away with that as well. Now, that's a better shot if this cue ball keeps running. That's an excellent shot there from Stefan. That's got him nailed. There is a line behind the 6 ball to get to the 1. Stubbs, however, is reverting to the jump cue, which is unusual. And this time, he's not getting quite so lucky. Although the 1 ball's actually spun out a wee bit more than I thought it would there. Oh no, too thin. Well, Stefan doesn't want the mistakes to come at the wrong end of the match here. But that was a big one. Stubbs still got to run this cue ball to have some sort of shot in the 3, and that's, again, easier said than done. And he needs to fall short of the 6 ball. Well, just. So the big one that will make or break this rack is getting some sort of shot on the 6, and Stubb is taking a big risk to manoeuvre that 7 ball out the way and still get lucky in the 5, and that's that's the advantage of 9-ball, in that you can do what Stubb does and get away with it a lot of times, and get into that nasty habit of what he does, and it has been doing. And we've seen how it doesn't work in 8-ball. You know, that's why Stubb's not in the tournament anymore. But he can get away with all of that crap playing this a lot of times. He can get away with it. You know, trying to move the 7-ball when you're still running the cue ball, you're just hoping you're going to get on the 5. And you can't play the game just hoping. But like I said, he gets away with it. He thinks he's done the right thing half the time, and he hasn't. But he's got the lead. But Stefan had his chance, but messed up on that 1-ball, that cut they had. And straight off the bat, Stubbs played another howler. He's left himself no real shot in the 2, having a blast, trying to knock something else in. So here you go again, Stefan. You've got a chance to capitalise on this and stay in this match. But as they always say, sooner or later, you're going to run out of that luck. You're going to be found out eventually. And I think Stefan's showing signs of wear and tear here, because now he's overcut the 3, and that was a gilt-edged chance there that you just simply cannot be doing. You just cannot be wasting opportunities like that. It might be time to go home, Stefan. But again, Stubbs run into the 4. He's going to blast the bank, no doubt. Doesn't have to worry about getting position in the 5-ball. It's there. And he's hit that completely wrong. Well, I don't know what Stubb is trying to do here, but to me that was a straightforward bank into the side. I don't know what the hell he did, how he played it. Well, how many invitations to the party are you wanting tonight, Stefan? I mean, Stubb has been oh so generous. You just make sure you see the 5-ball. That's not a big ask. You know, nudge that 6. Now you want some sort of angle in the 6. You want some sort of angle on it. Well, I would have wanted a wee bit more than that, I think. Let's have a look. Well, that's reasonable enough. Now, if he's going to run up the table, he needs to watch that side pocket if he's going to stun this, but I think he's going top. It needs to have legs. Should be good enough. Remember, he just needs the 8-ball. But a gift of an opportunity for Stefan, and if he'd taken these other gifts and opportunities, he may well have been on the hill right now. Well, he's had a decent enough break, couple of balls in the break. A bit dodgy in the 1-ball, but the bank is on, no doubt about that. He's trying to play some sort of safety. Well, Stubb has already used his jump cue more than once tonight. He might be doing it again here. I don't think he'll be kicking this. And he's going to have to go to plan B again with a jump stick. And look at where the cue ball finishes. Absolutely perfect. Well, you get a rub and a roll of the ball now and again. It all helps. Stubbs should be on the hill. Now, while he's doing that, quick update. Well, at the moment, it's looking as if Spectre Don's heading in the right direction away from Romario. It's a 6-3 lead at the moment. So breaking for the match and to get to tonight's final. The first final in our old-fashioned back to VP 3 days in Games by Arcade Sngle Elimination. We'll stop having to manufacture something again. Who knows what that's going to be? In fact, he's just he's protecting himself here, but there's a good chance of a safety on here. Well, that wasn't it. I think Stefan, you had to come up with something better than that, because that's an invitation to the party for the bank here. But Stubb again being ultra cautious. Now, is the combo on? It might not be. No, that's 7 balls going to the rail. Well, it's a big pocket now, that side pocket, but certainly the 3 ball isn't a bank from there. But is the 3 ball cuttable onto the 7 to drop in the edge, or is the 7? I think it is. I think Stefan's going for the cut here to drop that 3 in, and in it goes. And he's got another thin cut in the 4. Got to run the cue ball this time, though. Unless he's trying to... Well, he's trying to baby it, and it's just got there. He's played that very well. That's an excellent shot. I didn't think he could do that, but he's done it. Played it absolutely stone dead weight, just went in at its last breath. Last roll of the ball. And you've got to see this through now, Stefan, to take this match all the way. By the way, Lumpy, aka all the other profiles, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because if you've got about 35 profiles and they're all on YouTube, get them all subscribed to my channel. I need as many as I can get. Well, here we are. Is Stubb going to pay for his carelessness? As his luck run out, Stefan breaking for the match. 8 apiece. Oh, the 5 balls going in. He's not got an inviting shot in the 1, but he does have a cut. He's going to come off the 2 ball. Who knows where he's going to end up? But if he gets lucky and gets a half decent shot here, he could be home and dry. And he's decided to try and duck. Has he come up with anything good? Well, who knows what Stubb's going to do here. Trying to play the combo in the 4. Now, does Stefan want to have a bang at the 1 and try and billiard the 9 in? Does he want to do something crazy? Is he going for a cut? Because the 1 will cut 2 balls wide open at this end of the table. Oh, he's nailed the cut. Is the cue ball holding up? Well, just about. Now, the problem is he's a bit close to the rail for comfort here, but he would really like to sort of get a better hold of the cue ball, but he's actually missed the 2. And although the 2 is straight, I think that might be Stefan's last shot. Stubb gets the cue ball out clean. Well, it's going to take an almighty mistake now from Stubb not to get the job done. But it has to say that, you know, Stefan has had opportunities. He's made mistakes that have cost him racks. No doubt about that. This match could have been over. Let's be honest. But it looks like very likely it's going to be over the next minute. Well, that depends what you mean is popular. It's not popular with me. And my other point to make there is if it was that popular, there'd be loads of people streaming Shooter's Pool, which there isn't. There used to be 2 or 3 people streaming Shooter's Pool, but now there's none. And Stefan pinches the match on that 8 ball. Stubb didn't get out. I don't know what the hell happened there because I was busy looking at the chat. But anyway, Stefan has fallen over the line and Stubb goes home. He's not going to be happy with that, folks. Let's look at the chat. He is not going to be a happy chappy. Right, quick look at the bracket. We can see, well, all of a sudden, what did I tell you about Romario? It's 7-6 to Spectre Dawn, according to the bracket. He's got a dodgy 6 ball. Romario getting a 5 ball, but this to see who meets Stefan in the final. Yeah, I mean, Semi-Pro has been doing the odd stream in the afternoon, which he's been calling afternoon snooker or whatever, and half the time he's the only bloody person that's there. So it can't be that popular. Yes, there's a load of Vietnamese in there who are not paying a penny into Shooter's Pool. They're all gratis, just like they are in here. And yes, it's popular because there's a lot more people there. This is too hardcore for them, but they like it because it looks nicer and all of that stuff. But it's not a community because there's no chat apart from being in a room. And anyway, Spectre Dawn now in the hill. Romario fighting for survival, but we saw what happened in that last match with Stubb and Stefan. Sooner or later, you're going to run out of your luck, and that's what happened with Stubb. And he's making far too many mistakes again also. But, Stefan's going to have to wake himself up for this final because at the moment it looks as if he's going to be meeting Spectre Dawn, and Stefan's going to have to sharpen himself up and take those chances that he threw away. Well, there'll be a day, there's a day that will come where you will regret making that statement there. Because for all you know, Shooter's pool could go pear-shaped tomorrow. It could go tits up. You never know. Well, you know why that is, because most of the people that he's going to play there, he'll be beating them up and they'll be avoiding them like the plague. That's why. I mean, if you go there to dominate people and you end up dominating them, they're not going to. You're not going to get a game. Well, that's unlucky. I mean, that 8-ball, is he dead close to it? Because that might. I was going to have a quick look at that and see whether it banked. Now, Romario, how's he going to keep this safe? Well, Inspector Don going to play the bank now. He's got to. Or is he trying to duck behind the 9? He's trying to duck behind the 9, but that's too heavy. But he has got. That 8-ball is off the rail. Romario has got to take the bank on. He's got to take the bank. He's not doing it, though. Well, that should be it. I'm surprised he didn't go all out for the bank, because it was asking a lot to get covered with that cue ball behind the 9. I'm surprised he didn't have a go at it. So, I mean, you look what happened earlier on when Stefan was getting a 5-ball against MC Clarkey. Stefan won 9 racks to 1. But then you've got Romario getting the 5-ball against Spectre Dawn, and he's losing 9 racks to 6. So it all evens out the handicap, and it's how the game goes and how well you play against that 5-ball money ball. And we have a final after 2 hours and 20 minutes. And the final is between you-know-who, Spectre Dawn, in his favourite position in the Friday night 9-ball final, up against Stefan, who is getting a 5-ball. So let's see whether he's going to get any opportunity to get the use of that. So the room is up. Stefan's already in, and we are waiting. It didn't bank. Well, it was touch and go. There was enough room, but I think the only thing would have been it was more likely a double kiss than a bank. But when you're desperate, you'll do anything other than trying to get the cue ball hidden behind a 9-ball when there's only 3 balls on the table. It's a tall order. Now that just goes to show you, having played the matches that we have in this tournament, races to 9, some of them going a fair distance, it's still giving us a tournament that's going to last probably not far short of 3 hours. And maybe even over that, depending how this final goes, provided Spectre Dawn can get in and get underway. Again, well past my bedtime. In fact, I think it's a good idea to probably take a bathroom break for me. The match may or may not be started when I get back, but I'll be back in a minute. Now, just going back to the shooter's pool thing. The thing that I said earlier there is that, or in fact, just to elaborate on what I said earlier, the fact that, you know, Slugs was saying about going back to shooter's pool. Now, that's fine, but I did say that it, you know, it could be gone tomorrow. And the one thing to ask is these two guys, I think it's two brothers that developed the game, is do they have their fingers in any other pies? Do they have any other set income other than, you know, obviously the funding of the servers, etc. for Shooter's Pool, the development that they've done to get the game up and running. You know, there's a fair bit of investment to get done there. The graphics, the artistry, the rooms that were all created, all of that stuff, the queues, the tables, and everything. My question is how good is their bank balance in terms of keeping Shooter's Pool going? Now, that's in terms of keeping Shooter's Pool going. They've got a far bigger turnover in terms of the amount of people that go there on a regular basis. But that's a bit misleading because the vast majority of the ones that go there, there's no income coming into the game. You have to see it from that point of view. And Virtual Pool, to be honest, is pretty similar. There's us regulars here that have fully paid up memberships and renew it year after year. But the big chunk of what people we have in the lobby in VP4 during the daytime, most of them are gratis. If it wasn't for the gratis players, the lobby would be virtually empty. And so there's a similar thing on Shooter's Pool, except it's just in bigger quantity. But like I said, that's not a lot of income coming in. The difference with Steve is with Virtual Pool is he's got his fingers in a few other projects that bring money in. And so you have to look at it from that point of view. You know, what are the guys that develop Shooter's Pool doing? Have they got other sidelines going on where they have an investment coming in? Because one thing I would say to their benefit is they've got you know, sponsorship deals with the brands for the tables and the queues and all of that stuff. But how long is that going to last? Yeah, I mean, they've got that. But like I said, that doesn't last forever. You know, so it's all very well having a lot of people in the lobby and a lot of people playing, but where's the actual money coming into the game? There is probably not a lot. So that's where people get fooled into thinking everything's rosy on the other side of the fence. You know, that's not always the case. But anyway, we are off and running in Friday night 9-ball final. Race to 9, of course. Stefan at the bottom of the HUD is getting the 5-ball, and he's got a bank for the first rack. There you go. That 3D billiard game as well, that Russian game, it's actually more popular than VP4 because there's always 100-odd people on it. Whenever I haven't checked it out for a good probably couple of years, but I think the post on their sort of front page of the game, because it's a browser game, they keep saying that they're developing English language translation for it, but I've never really seen it improved a great deal. I think the Russian guys that do that game are struggling to get good English translation for it. But when you're in the lobby, There's a lot of Russian players obviously in it because they play that Russian billiard game in it as well. The only thing that's ropey about it is the control method, which is still nowhere near as good as virtual pool. So Spectre Dawn, having lost that first rack, looks dead set on killing that deficit. There's one thing for certain, I don't think it would make any difference to my subscribers if I started streaming Shooters Pool. But the fact that I don't play it seems a bit pointless. Well, Spectre Dawn just got himself a wee bit dodgy in the 6 ball, and that's all it needed. So one thing to make clear here is that Stefan is just getting the 5 ball. The fact that the 5 ball's gone means he has to clear the table to win the rack. It's not 5 and out he's getting. And he had a cut in the 6. This is a good bank, this 6 ball. Past the 7. Wide open bank. But again, Spectre Dawn seems a bit less inclined to have a go. But he has played a decent safety. That 6 ball's tight. Well, I know that Stubb wouldn't give it a second thought to cut this 6 ball down the rail past the 7. And that's not a bad effort there from Spectre Dawn. Yes, Stefan can see the 6 ball. Now, can he cross bank that 6 ball? If Steve were here, he would say yes, he probably can, because he can see enough of it. He's not even looking at it. How's his luck? He ain't bad. Could have finished worse than that. Is the bank still on, though? No. Now he's looking at it. Presume he's looking at it rather than the combo onto the 7. Then again, I'm not sure what he's doing. No, he's just trying to roll it to the rail. Well, the bank's on even more now. I mean, Stefan's got to have a dig at this. He can't faff about. He's got to have a digger. If he's going to try and get behind the 7, he needs to get behind it. He's hit that far too heavy again, has he? No, he hasn't. He's played it perfect. Now, if he'd only done that better with that 9 ball he had, well, look at this 6 ball. Oh, the cue ball's gone. Well, Stefan's probably thinking, oh, shit, look what's happened here. And then, boom, the cue ball goes in. That's unlucky. Or it's lucky, whichever way you want to look at it. But Stefan suddenly could be 2-0 up here. There's a long way to go, but 2-0's a good enough start. And there's that line, there's that pattern of balls again. Now, I think he got a ball. Yeah, the 7 ball's gone. He's got a shot in the 1. 2 balls sitting there next to 8 and 9. It's clean, it goes. He hasn't quite got there, though. He hasn't got there. Yes, he's still got a pot. But now he's interfered with the 9 ball and the 8 ball. But he's come out good. So now, this is about getting decent on the 4. And you've got to get into that little space to get on that 5 ball. And that's pretty good. He can just drop through into the gap, and it'll be 3-0. Well, I don't know where everybody's suddenly decided to go, because I've lost my double figures in my viewers. Did they think this was going to be a nothing final? It's 3-0 to Stefan. Okay, it could all change, but this is probably not what people were thinking coming to this final. Well, Spectre Dawn's got a lifeline here. That 4-ball is going nowhere fast. And Stefan can have a dig here if he can get into this cue ball. Has he got the angle to try and get into that 4-ball? Well, he's had a blast. I don't know what he was trying to do with the cue ball. But Spectre Dawn's going to have the same problem. There is an angle in the cue ball. He's trying to run it 3 rails, but he's gone too tight. Now you can just tuck this along the rail, try and keep it as tight as you can. Now once again, there's a cut up the rail, and you may well have a cut down the rail in this 5-ball to go 4-0 here, Stefan. You just got to watch the scratch on the side. He's gone all out for it. He's missed the scratch, but he's also missed the 4. And he's not left anything easy. So there's a bit of pressure on Spectre Dawn here. Yeah, this is a tough 4-ball, but he's played it well. Needs a bump. And he's got the right bump. Landed good in the 5. Well, he's ended up a wee bit straight in the 7, but he's got to get decent enough in this 8 to get comfortably back for the 9. He's got a nice angle, and he can nip back across off the back of this 8-ball. Doesn't want to go too square. Well, it still cuts. Would have liked it more comfortable than this, though. But it'll get him off the mark. Now he needs his break to work for him. Well, 4-ball gone. Thin cut in the 1, but the 2 balls are way up table. And he's just going to take his medicine, leave the big cut at distance. Guaranteed to be on the 3. No, he's not read the line. Well, this is bad enough, this 2-ball where it's sitting. Yes, it cuts past the 7. But one good pot here from Stefan. or one good safety, but this is just sitting. It's just sitting awkward for either, this 2-ball. Now what's he going to do? Is he going to go all out? One good pot and you're on the 3-ball. No, he's miles away. He is nowhere, not in the ballpark with that shot, Stefan. I keep forgetting, where the hell's Stefan from? Is he German? I think he's German, isn't he? Well, at least he's an hour in front of us, so it's getting late where he is. It's 20 minutes to 11, so he might be going downhill like me at this time of night. Well, this is thin, this 6-ball. But bear in mind where it's sitting in relation to the 8 and 9. He's got the cue ball in the right spot to have a shot at it, but it's tight. And that's well played. Loads of room to come around onto this 8-ball. So Spectre Dawn back to within 1. Ball in the break immediately. Well, he's got a shot in the 1. I think the 1 goes past the 8, yeah. But the 2-ball is, get that camera shot at the 2-ball's doing its best to be awkward. This is no 100% guarantee he's going to have a shot. And that's going to run out too far. Or is it? Oh, yep, he's going to have to either kick behind it or try and nip it in off the rail. He'll settle for that, though. That's a good shot. You know, not difficult to hit the 2. And there's a... I don't know whether... No, he's hit it straight at the 4. I was just going to have a quick look to see whether that went past the 4, that 2-ball, but we'll never know. Anyway, Spectre Dawn gets his reward. He's got ball in hand. Little nip back for the 3. She's ended up just a bit awkward. He's a big distance away and he's a bit straight in this 4-ball. So you're going to have to give it a smack to get the cue ball out a bit, unless he's going to let it run out. Well, he's just taking what he's got. This 5-ball is no gimme. I mean, if he just rolls it in, he's going to have a shot somewhere in this 7-ball, but if he goes to the rail and comes out, well, I think he's in no better position than I thought he would be. Again, he's a bit awkward. It cuts just on the 50-yard line or just beyond it, but it does cut. But he's judged and controlled the pace reasonably well. The lines, this is nearly similar to one he missed earlier. He was a bit straighter like this on it, though. He should be comfortable enough with this, though. Well, panic over for Spectre Dawn. He's now back on par, 3 racks apiece, and going to have the opportunity to try and get away from Stefan. Eight ball in the right side, 9 ball in the bottom right corner. That'll come back up. No shot in the one though. Although I think he might have room over the edge to jump that 3 ball out with the jump stick. Yeah, never any guarantee he was going to have any sort of decent thing on the 2 ball, but played the jump well. And now a wee bit of ducking and diving. And Stefan having a loose kick, shall we say. And Spectre Don again, just having to try and tidy up the mess, and he'll have the lead. Maybe a bit too straight in this again. Yeah. Again, not trying to be over elaborate, just taking what he's got and dealing with it. Now, he's just nipped up the table a wee bit further than he would have probably liked there. I mean, this is where he wanted to be, but he's now left us a bit more of a cut. But these pockets aren't as scary as what they are in the 8-ball tournament, because those side pocket knuckles have been jumping out and grabbing balls time after time. We've seen that in the tournament. Not quite as frightening. But Spectre Dawn, from what, 3-1 down, now finds himself in the lead. Eight ball has gone. He's landed right on top of the 1, which is not very handy. Can he play the combo? Yes, he can. And he's come out smelling the roses on the 1 ball. Well, this is going to end up square. Well, same rules apply here. He can try the combo. He can try the bank on the 2. I think that's the least of his problems, because looking at the 3 into it, it's not doing anything. Now, he could actually try for a safety here, but he's gone all out for the combo. But he has to make sure that he at least sees the 3 ball here, and he could easily play a safety from it. So the chances are Stefan's coming to the table. He's not going to have much of a sight on this 3 ball. And just like the previous rack, he's just going to have a blast and hit and hope. Well, that's gone wrong. That's gone badly wrong. And that's behind the 9. Oh well, it's not a full snooker, but he's got enough of the 9 ball. Spectre Dawn out with the jump stick again. How tight's that 3 in the rail? Well, it's not far away from it. And again, he's recovered well with the jump stick. And Stefan, at the moment, for these last 3 or 4 racks, has been locked out. And he's only getting bits and pieces of shots. Half the time, the shots he has had, he's been hooked on. You just got to be patient and hope the tide turns. But above all, you've just got to take those chances as and when they come, and you've got to be ready for them. And I don't think Stefan's ready. I think he's like me. I think he's going downhill very fast. And now it's 5-3. But it is not difficult to get back in this. He's good enough to pot 2 or 3 balls to get to that 5 ball if he gets the opportunity. And that's half the battle, is getting that opportunity. Spectre Dawn, the 2 ball in the break, but no shot in the 1. So there's a little bit of help for Stefan there, just to push out. Well, the bait is there for Stefan. There's a cut on this 1 ball to the top right. There's certainly a cut on. And is there a path for this cue ball to come out into the table behind that 7 for a shot in the 3? No, there's a scratch on as well, unfortunately. And I think for the last 3 or 4 racks, Stefan has had 1 shot when he's got to the table. And it's like, you know, it's like feast to famine. He's not getting very many opportunities, and they're either tough or he's hooked, or like that one, it was tough and he scratched. And Spectre Dawn can go forward, and he needs to make sure he gets up past the halfway line, past that side pocket, and he'll have a decent shot in the 4. That's good enough. And it's looking like this is taking a nasty turn for Stefan. It's drought at the moment. Where's the cue ball going? This might be nasty. That's very nasty. Well, the mistake has been made. There's no way he's getting to that. He is well hooked. Just a little bit too much running in the cue ball, and that's how easy it is for mistakes to happen. Yes, he's got a 5-3 lead, and well, would you believe it? He's kicked the 5 into the side, and the cue ball nearly scratches. Well, there's a shot of the night, folks. Look at that, right in the back of the 5, into the side pocket, and he's probably complaining that he hasn't got a better shot in the 6. Wow. Well, anyway, the 6 ball does cut. Oh, it's did everything but go in. And again, poor Stefan has got no shot. Well, he can go up and down. He can go down past the 9 ball, try and find the line. I don't know that that's it. That looks too tight too soon. No, my eyes have gone at this time of night. It was perfect. But he's got to get all 3 of them to pinch this rack. Blind pocket cut in the 7. Watch the cue ball in the side pocket. And he hasn't held the line. And Spectre Dawn again has a bank on here. But not entertaining it at all. And I don't think that Stefan can see enough of that to even attempt a bank. Try to roll on top of it. Here we go. This is what I don't want at this time of night. I'm wanting to get to bed. And Stefan wants to stay alive. Well, at some point the bank's going to be on. It's who's going to be brave enough to have a go at it. Or whose patience is going to run out first. This might be not too bad. That's not bad at all. Just an edge on that 7 ball, but if you get this too heavy, you're knocking over the side pocket. In fact, that's very tight. I think he's going to have to go up and down. Watch the knuckle in the side pocket. Oh, he's hit it sweet again. Another one. Well, this time, there's no benefit of the doubt here. He's played that perfect. Kicked it in spot on. And landed good on the 8. Well, there's nothing much you can do, Stefan, when players do that to you. And it's another rack on the board for Spectre Dawn. From 3-1 down. He wasn't 3-0 down at any time, was he? I can't remember. But anyway, I know that he was 3-1 down. And, well, the racks just keep coming. It's now 5 in a row. And I think in that 5 in a row, I think Stefan's had about 5 shots in those 5 racks. Meanwhile, Spectre Dawn breaks off in rack number 10 and the 3 ball is gone. This time, however, he doesn't have a clear pot in the 1. Now, he was trying to miss that 8 ball there. Now, admittedly, he hasn't left anything on. Yes, there's a far-fetched long combo in the 9, and the 9's off the rail, so that's... You're crazy to have a go at that, but Stefan's having a go, and the 1 ball's got in instead. There you go, that's how to play it. If you can't get the combo, get the 9 out of the way and pot the 1. How easy was that? And now he's finished awkward in the 2. He gets the cut in the 2. And this is a bit like previous. Sooner or later, you're thinking Stefan's going to sort of fall foul of this cue ball running. The 5 balls lying awkward. Well, is that a consolation rack, or is that him working his way back into the match? Well, the 5 ball is going to go. And I think the 9 ball is gone as well. No, it hasn't. 5 balls gone. 1 ball has gone. The 5 ball, of course, comes back up. But the cue ball is gone as well, which is a disaster. That's exactly what you don't want when you've just pinched a rack. And Spectre Dawn's got a free go. There isn't a problem in the table, so this is just a little cue ball exercise for him. Well, again, he would just have liked that cue ball further up towards the side pocket. He's just left this on the blind side a bit. And of course, now you've got a slightly awkward area to get the cue ball in for the 6. You see, that's how mistakes happen. He just left himself a wee bit short in the 5, and he had to make sure the cue ball got into the gap for the 6. So here's a gift for Stefan. That's how quickly things can change. You know, Stefan's been sort of dead and buried for the last 5 racks, and he's got an absolute gift here to get back within 1. Now, he's taking far too long over this. That worries me. But anyway, he's back within 1. But he needs a favour. He needs a ball. Now, that 6 ball was going in until he got nudged by the 1, and he's come up dry. And I think Spectre Don will be jumping over the edge of this 3. He most certainly will be. Well, no great shot in the 2. You just never know where the cue ball's really finishing on something like that. I think it might cut, though, but it looks very dodgy. No, clearly it was not really on. Has he got the cover? Well, it's an easy hit, no doubt about that. But he didn't want that to run full into the 5. 2 does cut into the side. I mean, he can go long into the top left-hand corner if he wants and go to the rail and come back out for the 3. I think that's what he's thinking about. I think he feels more comfortable in that than letting the cue ball run loose, and he's played it well. And as long as he gets inside this 4 ball near the rail, it's easy to stun out for the 5. I mean, he could stay outside the 4, but I think the way the 4's sitting near the side pocket, he wants to stay inside of this. Because he's trying to come down the table. He's trying to come down the table, play it in the side. Well, I think that's more. This is more fiddly than the shot I was talking about, because he's having to hold the cue ball. He's managed to hold it well, though. So that mini comeback from Stefan, it looks as if it's going to be stalled. Well, once again, look where the 7 ball's sitting in relation to the 8, and look where the cue ball wants to go. This could go pear-shaped very quickly here with this cutback on the 6. It could get very strange. And he's trying to hold it and hold it and hold it inside. And that was a big ask. And he's snookered. And Stefan, shake yourself down here. You might now, from what Spectre done earlier on, watch all pockets. Anything can happen here with this. Almost into the side. Now he needs a roll of the ball. Well, here's an opportunity again for Stefan. It's just, again, it's just a little dodgy angle. He's trying to run this cue ball and check it on the top rail. He's held it well, as a matter of fact. He's played that very well. One more decent shot, and he'll be back all square. Oh, I think he'd have preferred to have been better on this 9 ball at this time of night for him. And he's got it though. And it was all doom and gloom a little while ago. Like I said, when you're getting that 5 ball and you're good enough to get there, Stefan is back in it. But he's not, I don't think he's getting many favours in this break. That looks dry again, is it? Yeah. Bit of a mess though. Where's the cue ball going? I think he's okay. Now, 3 ball goes, just got to get into that area. And he's got there. Problem, of course, is look at the 5 ball. And he's got to drop this in and nudge out so he can see the 4. Now, he's going to have a good opportunity here to play a good safety on Spectre Dawn. Well, that ain't it. All he's done is stun the cue ball stone dead. That was terrible. That's too short to jump over, so he's tried just to tie them up, but what he has done is he's given Spectre Dawn the chance to stick him in 2 fouls. Now he's looking at thinning it that way to come down here, whereas I'd be looking at running this to come down this line here, but let's see, can he get a line that way? That's a bit tight. He's got right English to try and fire it off the rail and get across. And, well, this is actually landed perfect. He can punch this around the table. As long as he doesn't pot it, he's going to stick that cue ball there and have Spectre Dawn in trouble. I mean, is he going for the pot and try to play the combo in the 5-8? Yes, he is. I don't think that was the right shot because look, I don't think he's really 100% certain of what he should be going about there. He's left it awkward to play the 5-8, where he should have just punched that ball round the table. But Spectre Dawn's got as good a chance of knocking this in. So another pretty poor choice of what to do there from Stefan. I think he's sold out there, as Steve would say. Well, this cue ball's going to have to keep running if he's going to have a shot. And he ain't, but he can cross this over and bank it. He can see enough of it, but he's not taking the risk. Spectre Dawn scared about the 5 ball money ball. Well, one good bank from Stefan, and he's not entertaining it either. Well, that's poor because, again, it's going to induce Spectre Dawn into cutting that up the rail. If you're going to play a safety, Stefan, you've got to get that 5 ball tight. That's poor. You know, little lapses like that from Stefan, he's been doing them all match. He's been doing sort of loose shots. Now, Spectre Dawn's had a go and got lucky there. Stefan's just showing those lapses that he does. And like I say, I'm coming to his defence saying it's probably the time of night, but I think he's playing his own part in it as well. Well, he's got the hit. It's not easy. It does cut, and it's a very good bank, that 5 ball, up and down. And from the way Spectre Dawn's looking, he's looking at the thin cut, which he's nailed. Cue ball's coming around, needs to miss the 6. And that's perfect. Well, there's another rack where Stefan had the chance of a bank on that 5 ball into the bottom left-hand corner from the long rail on the right, refused it and played a poor safety. And the overall end result is he's ended up losing a rack because of it. So he could have been in the lead. I think that was the 8 ball that went in. Or was it the 4? It was a 4 ball. Well, the 1 does cut. If he fancies it. Cue ball's running into stuff, though. Going to take a chunk out the 5. You've got to think you've got to have a shot in the 2. Look where the 2's sitting. Now, the only danger is coming off that 5 and scratching. Either directly off the 5 or running into the 7 and scratching. You've got to be careful with this. I think he's given up the idea of the cut, trying to check it behind the 8, and he's played that very well. That's the far better shot than the risky cut. Stick your opponent in a hole just like that. And that was the right choice of shot. Well, that was a good effort to hit that 1. But the reward has come for Spectre Dawn. He has ball in hand and a good open table where he should be on the hill. And this tournament has now taken 3 hours and 10 minutes for these races to 9 in all rounds, single elimination. Coldest pillow, of course I am tired. I was tired at 20 past 8 tonight. Well, it's not long if you lose in the first round, coldest pillow. You know. I mean, the other thing to tweak it is to run it down to races to 7, like it used to be in VP3. I mean, we've still got it races to 9, but if it comes to it and the majority of people think otherwise, then they can run it down to races to 7. Spectre Dawn, 3 balls away or 4 balls away from on the hill. Well, there's opportunities been missed here by Stefan. There's no doubt about it. You could have given him another 2 racks from where he's sitting right now. It could be a piece. But as it is, it's not. It's Spectre Dawn breaking for the match. 7 ball goes in. And something else has just dropped. And he's right on top of the 1 pretty much. Now, what does he fancy here? I mean, there is the 1-9 combo. He might as well have a go at it. So this for the match. Yeah, it was never a guaranteed one because his 9 ball was off the rail. But a good chance here for Stefan to duck and dive. Oh dear. Straight to bed, folks. No hanging around. And while this is going on, there's nothing elaborate at the end of this. As soon as I'm finished, we're off air. We are gone. We'll have one quick look at the 8-ball. Just as a quick reminder, if we look at the schedule, we've got the one match there, Cobra versus Balls. That's Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. I should be around for it. Meanwhile, again, another fairly poor shot from Stefan. He's left a straight cut up the rail there for Spectre Dawn. You've got to come up with better safeties. Well, Spectre Dawn decided against the cut because he didn't have a good angle to get to the 3, which was wise. Stefan can clearly jump over the edge of the 4. There's no problem in getting to hit the 2, but where's things going to end up? I think this is finished. Well, that was not an easy 2-ball. He was trying to hold a line to get to 3, which he actually done very well. He was good on that 3. So this is sort of last chance saloon for Stefan. But again, he's got a dodgy 2. And he's close to the rail. And he's now just gone straight in and scratched off the 2 by cutting into the side. And I know if Arnie were here, which he isn't, it would be hasta la vista, which it is. And I am off to bed. Well, that's gone a bit straight, but he just needs to nip the cue ball. I mean, he could force an angle and run it out, but he's just holding it. You know, why do more when you can do minimum and still get there? So once again, congratulations to Spectre Dawn. Friday night 9-ball in the bag. Races to 9 all rounds. And it is a 9-6 win for Spectre Dawn. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks all for your company. Don't forget to hit the like. Subscribe as well if you haven't. And we'll see you again sometime, probably Sunday afternoon. And I can't remember what round it is. It's round 3 or something. Who cares at this time of night? Thanks again and take care. And we will see you very soon. Good night.